Greetings and salutations, Libra. You are most welcome here, my friends. We're going to hop into the hopes, fears, and reality. Oh, something flipped over. Ouch! Libra. For reals? For real. So, this is going to be what I do often. When cards fly out, they don't necessarily have an assigned position, but they have a relevance. So this is an underlying tone to the reading. So every card I pull out from here will be related to this. The Three of Swords is a really rough thing to do because threes are all about expansion. Okay, and please know that. Threes are about expansion. There's always growth that you can get from something. Okay. This particular three is a rough one because it represents a wounding. Now, it can be spiritual, it can be physical. You could just be ill, right? Because the Three of Swords can represent communicable disease. You know, maybe you're home with COVID. I hope you're not. Really hope you're not. But ultimately, there's a wound here. There's a heartache. And right now, you're still in the I'm feeling pain portion of it. You're not in the I'm learning from this mistake or I'm learning from this situation. Do you see what I mean? So it's the initial ouch to what will ultimately be some sort of growth. That's the filter that every card that I pull out is gonna sit through. Oof. That's a tough one, Libra. Three of Swords just flying out of the deck. There's a pain here. Oh. I see. You're hoping to move forward with something. Well, more importantly, you're hoping to move forward with someone. Just because the lovers are here does not necessarily mean that this has to be a romantic spread, right? It can be. It most likely is, you know, when we're pulling the Three of Swords and the lovers. But it is a close personal relationship. It's not to say it can't be vocational if you're close to somebody at work. But there's an intimacy to this relationship, not necessarily a physical intimacy. There's... All right. Let me pull myself back. For a lot of people, because this is a collective read, for a lot of people, this will be about a romantic relationship. Okay? But for those who aren't looking at this as a romantic relationship, the friendship or the familial relationship, whatever it is, or even a coworker relationship, this person means a lot to you. You've been with this person. You know them on a deeper level. It's not just a surface situation, right? And you are really, really hoping that you can work through some of these problems and move forward. Because this Chariot here moves forward, whether you like it or not. The Chariot itself actually represents time. But there's a self-discipline that comes with the Chariot here to be able to balance these opposing forces in order to get the forward movement to a steady enough pace that you can power through some of those difficulties in order to steer it in a direction that is meaningful to both parties, right? But that's the problem here in your hopes. You're hoping to move forward with this relationship, but there's only one person driving this chariot, and there's two opposing forces. You're hoping things will go your way. That's the thing here in your hopes. But if there's pain and discomfort in the process, that's what I'm getting here. is you're hoping things will move forward your way. They're going to move forward regardless of it being your way or not. You see potential. You see a resource of some sort. That's what this is. And you want to take the lead. But there's a fear in that. This is the fear portion of the cards. This is the anxiety. So you want to push forward because you see this as a resource. But Libra, you've been here before. What I get from this is that somewhere deep inside, you want this to work out because there's an emptiness here that you're looking to fill. So it might not be that you see this person for who they are. It might just be that you painted a picture and an idea of who this person was, and you're trying really hard to force them to fit and fill in that one little part inside of you. You know, you're not, if this is a romantic partner, you're not in love with the person. You're in love with who you think the person could be if only they do this one thing different. But you can't change people, Libra. If this is a vocational situation, somebody you've worked with for a really, really long time, it could be that you want to persuade them to do things a particular way and they are a resource to you. But you're still controlling them, right? Constantly persuading and pushing or manipulating in a particular way. What I get in the fear and anxiety position is that you fear that you're creating a persona of who you want someone to be rather than looking at them for exactly who they are. And again, you're hoping, you're wrong, you're hoping they will be the person I want them to be. They will be. If I could just show them this one thing, then everything will be okay. If they just do this one thing differently, then they'll be who I want them to be. Maybe this isn't your broken heart. Maybe this is theirs. Maybe they're realizing that you don't see them for who they are, that you want them to be somebody different, and they don't want to be that different person. The reality of the situation is that you or the other person no longer possess the resiliency or the strength to push through it. You know? There's no point in fighting about it. And either you or this other person are coming to that realization. The playful banter is over. You know, it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye. It's kind of what I'm getting from this. And the people involved have decided, I don't want to lose an eye over this. I don't want to lose a part of myself to become who you want me to be. Or, if this person does become who you want them to be, they're giving up a part of themselves. And that makes them just less attractive. Ooh, we got one card fell and landed. So the Hanged Man in the upright is about turning your world upside down and seeing a new perspective. It's about sacrifice. Here, it's about a stubborn person drawing a line in the sand and not willing to see the other person's perspective. This is you, Libra. Here you are, moving full force with an idea. Right? Do you see how fast this horse is moving? And this knight is following this idea. That's what this sword represents. It represents a thought, an idea. Here you are following. You're pointing in this direction. I have to go in this direction. Look how fucking scared this horse looks. Is that your other person? Are you forcing something on them based on your idea? Somebody has lost faith in this connection. I don't want to pull any more cards, Libra. Sometimes we fall in love with an idea and we want everybody else to fit the roles of this idea of what our ideal situation would be. But as you keep pushing somebody towards your ideal, your ideal, your ideal, you take away a portion of their free will. Then before you know it, they're sacrificing a piece of themselves for your goals and your ideal. So if you're forcing somebody to follow your dream, you're also forcing them to let go of theirs. I don't hyper focus on romance or finance or career. I hyper focus on this channel on self-care and growth, which is why a lot of my readings can be very uncomfortable for people. I'm never going to be popular at this game. But the truth of the matter is, if this is a romantic spread, and you're driving this ship, you're forcing something to be your way, and you're asking somebody to give up a portion of themselves in order to follow your vision. But when this person starts giving up a portion of themselves, you find them less attractive because, well, now they have no backbone. Yeah, I see this happen, sometimes people, and men and women do this alike. They find themselves a cheerleader, somebody who repeats back to them all of the things that they like about themselves, and they're like, oh, great, 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 great. And then they become physical with this person, and then they become emotionally attached to this person. Then after a while, this person starts showing who they are, and then you turn around and you're like, but wait, you aren't just the person who, does what I want to do. And then they try to go back to putting their best foot forward and getting into all the things that you get into. And if they give up who they actually are and the things that they love, eventually you'll become bored of them. But if they don't keep worshiping you, doing everything you want to do, well, then they don't become this ideal. If somebody wants to support you in your endeavors, there's something wonderful about that. But if somebody has to give up a portion of who they are in order to follow who you are, maybe it's just not the right fit. But only you can figure that out with an open and honest conversation about where things are going. Because if this person has to give up a part of themselves to be your ideal, even if they're willing to do it at the time, at some point they might resent you for it. And maybe neither of you intended it to be that way, but that's just the way things are unfolding naturally. It's probably one of the longest reads I've ever done on this channel. I usually like to keep my stuff around 7 or 8 minutes, but this is a tough one, Libra. But take a look at the people you're surrounding yourself with in all your relationships. Are you really considering who they are, or who it is you want them to be? Who it is you wish them to be? Because you can't change people. People have to change themselves. Sometimes people change to make somebody that they care about happy, but in the long run, they become resentful for it. Because again, losing that eye, they have to give up a part of themselves. I'm going to stop here because this is hitting close to home. Take this information, go forth, and do good things with it. Because this is a glimpse of you being in a manipulative position that you never intended. And I kind of feel like, Libra, you don't want to manipulate somebody you care about. You just might be doing it unintentionally. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good. And I hope you can take this information, have an adult conversation, and do the right thing. Whatever you decide that might be. I'll see you next time.